Welcome to Lighting for Profits.
All light.
Powered by Emery Allen.
Get rid of your excuses.
Your number one source for all things landscape lighting.
That's where the magic can happen. You can really scale a business.
We really had to show up for each other.
From lighting design, install, sales, and marketing.
You're a scaredy cat salesman, Kurt.
We discussed everything you need to know to start and grow a successful landscape lighting business.
What do you think a hippo has to do with your business, Ryan?
Usually it's some weird childhood thing. Some bully kicked your butt.
I think the key factor here is trust.
Here is your host, Ryan Lee.
All light. Welcome to the number one landscape lighting show, maybe the number one sales show. We'll find out today. I'm Ryan Lee, your host of Lighting for Profits, powered by Emery Allen. And guys, today is Team Easy Money. If you want to make potentially millions of dollars to change the rest of your life, today might be the show. We don't know. We'll find out. I do know this. Today is either probably going to be the best episode we've ever done or the worst. But we'll find out. So, guys, in just a few minutes, I've got some very good friends in studio with me tonight. And I don't know if you guys know this, but we still are trending as the number one landscape lighting show in Lehi, Utah. So that's pretty cool. We're still the only landscape lighting show in Lehi, Utah. But yes, thank you for your support. If you're looking to start or grow a landscape lighting company, you're definitely in the right place. We're here to help you educate, motivate, to help you dominate. And just want to thank you guys for your support. And those of you that don't support us and have not given me the 5-star review, I want you to feel guilt. I want you to feel shame. Go give me that 5-star review right now. And again, guys, in just a few minutes, I'm going to introduce some good friends of mine. We're going to be talking about a summer about, what do we say, 22, 23 years ago, somewhere around there. And that's how long I've been waiting to do this show. Not just 4 years, but literally 20 some years to do this show. So I'm excited about that. Before we have these guys on, I want to remind you, schedule a free strategy session with me. So if you have not yet done so, go to landscapelightingsecrets.com, click start now, and follow the prompts from there. We'll get on a call. We'll talk about where your business is where it is now, where it wants to be, and kind of what that gap looks like. And who knows, maybe your wildest dreams will come true. So, hey, real quick, before I do these introductions, and this show is going to be epic, you guys, I do want to thank Emery Allen. No, I really just kind of wanted to play some funky music. But listen, hey, what's the best way to stand out of the crowd? Well, being different. So set yourself apart from others in the lighting industry and impress your customers by installing Emery Allen bulbs on your next project. You'll discover a higher level of quality across the board, from the bulbs themselves to the top-tier customer support you can expect to get if you have any issues or questions. Right now is the best time to get started. So what are you waiting for? Make the switch. Here's what you got to do. Just email Tom G at emeryallen.com, and Tom will hook you up with that discounted contractor pricing. Email Tom G at emeryallen.com. Mention that you heard about him here on Lighting for Profits, and he'll get you that discount. Don't waste your time. Don't go to the website. Why would you pay full price when you can just email Tom G at emeryallen.com? Okay, guys, are we ready? Are you guys ready back there? This is going to be a great show. All right, so I guess I don't know another way to start, but I think we just get started. Let's get these guys coming in. Are you guys ready? I think I am. Let me hit the right buttons here. Whoa, easy. Wrong button. Okay, here we go. It's time to welcome the manager. It's the 2003 Nevada Living Scriptures Manager of the Year, James Crowley. Welcome to the show, James.
Yeah, glad to be here. That title does need to include that I didn't sell in Las Vegas. There's a lot of better.
Did I say Las Vegas?
No, you said Nevada, but we covered all of Nevada except Las Vegas.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that because somehow we hit all the wrong towns.
Yeah.
All right, welcome to the show, man. Excited to have you here. Time to get to our next guest. Let's welcome, when I find the music. Who is it? It's Jesse Bad Dog Crowley.
Woo!
Hi, everybody.
Let's go, Jesse Bad Dog Crowley. How are you, buddy?
I'm glad to be here, just like I was that summer.
Are you
Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, just happy to be hanging with my friends.
all right? You're still lying through your teeth. All right. Well, excited to have you on here. Let's get our next guest coming. Where's the buttons? Here it is. Uh-oh. You know what time it is. Let's welcome Jeremy, the Dr. J. Wilkins.
Right.
Yeah. Welcome to the studio. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Happy to be here
Sweaty Palms Wilkins.
right now.
It's already started. It's already started. All right. Last but not least, probably a surprise, but she's here with us. Look out. We got Mrs. Lee, Lindsay Lee, in the studio. What's up, Lindsay? Welcome back to the show. I meant
Oh, thank you.
welcome back to the show.
Great to be back.
All right. This is the first time I've ever done this, guys. I've had one guest. Lindsay's been on the show before in here, but we've never had this many people. So I'm actually really excited for this show. I literally, guys, I think we've been waiting for 20 plus years, right?
21, right? It was 2003.
Yep.
So,
Do the math. It would be 22 this summer.
okay.
So
the
right
math.
now I would be recruiting you guys.
Is this when we got recruited? It was probably this time of year.
I was recruiting you guys starting in junior high. Grooming you to be the best salesman.
Okay.
Let's
Let's.
All right. Well, okay, guys. So here's what we're going to do. We're basically going to talk about this summer where James, the manager, decided to get the crew together, and we did something pretty epic. We talk about it on a regular basis. So while it wasn't successful for everybody, we did get a lot of life lessons learned. A lot of things happened. We got cars stolen. We got weird conversations with weird people, sweaty palms, lots of crazy stuff. So, James, let me start with you. How in the heck did you decide to start selling animated Bible videos in Hawaii?
Oh yeah. So everybody, let's take you back a year to 2002. Just kidding. No, that was funny. So in 2002, there was like several ideas for that summer. We were going to go to your cabin in Island Park, Curtis, Brad, I don't know who all. We were going to be waiters at that restaurant and then water ski during the day.
I've
It was
never
like
heard this.
No, dude, it was like the best idea ever. And then Kurt got into nursing school. And
That's lame.
yeah, totally. And then I was going to go sell home security or something in Puerto Rico with some other kid from Utah State. And then there was a girl I liked, and I went to go hang out with her, and they were doing her Living Scriptures recruiting meeting there. And the recruiter guy took me in a room. He's like, "What can we do to get you to sell Living Scriptures?" And I was like, "No, send me someplace cool, maybe." And so the next day he's like, "Do you want to go to Hawaii?" I was like, "Yeah, sure."
That's awesome.
So
it was after you were chasing a hot girl and you found out you could go to Hawaii.
and that was it.
Did you even look into home security or pest control?
No, so that guy actually went to Puerto Rico. I don't even remember his name. He was a nice guy, but he quit after like 2 weeks because they were lying to people so hard.
Dang.
So he like had to find his way back from Puerto Rico. So I dodged a bullet, guys, and I went to Hawaii and stayed in an apartment with manager's wife that was 9 months pregnant, 2 other guys, and a girl.
So I can't remember if it was during that summer or right at the end, but Lindsay and I, that same summer, we went to Texas and we knocked doors, cleaned windows.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I was thinking, and I talked to you, it was like toward the end or you were still there. And I was like, damn, James has got the life, man. He's in Hawaii. We're
Make
sweating
it
our ass off. We're just like sweating, knocking doors. And we made like pretty good money. But I just remember thinking, James is my hero. Like, and then you won the trip.
Oh, yeah.
So you got to go back to Hawaii
yeah,
on a
I
cruise and
did.
stuff. And I was like, yeah, we made a bad choice.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I did win that trip. That was a fun trip.
That's what got me. So I was like, so James, tell me about this Hawaii thing. And I was like, that sounds pretty sick. So I'm sold on, we're going to an awesome destination. We're going to get rich.
Yeah.
We're going to win trips.
You were like putty in my hand.
Yeah. So I was already, you may not have known it, but I was already pre-sold. I was like,
Oh my
dude, James is like the man. We're going to go. I don't even know what Living Scriptures are, but we're going to go do it. And then you got the team together You did
Sure
so
did.
well that first year that they invited you to come back
Yeah.
and be a manager, right?
Oh, totally. Or they just will take anybody and they will do it 2 years in a row because it's pretty brutal. And yeah, and I think I forced Jesse to because you had just gotten back from England, and I was just like, "Oh, this is really fun for you.
So
Come hang out with me."
all return missionaries. Lindsay was not a return missionary, but we were used to knocking doors, getting rejection. So like, what's the worst that could happen, right?
Totally.
Bad Dog, what were you thinking when he said, "Hey, you want to go knock doors and sell Bible videos in Nevada"?
It was similar to your experience. He talked a lot about Hawaii and how amazing Hawaii was, and it just made it seem really great.
Hawaii is
Go
the
make
best.
a lot of money.
Just someplace almost exactly like it.
At what point, Jeremy, did you get recruited?
I honestly don't remember. I mean, I was living with James at the time with a couple other guys going to school, and he was talking about it constantly. He's like, "You should really do this. It's, it's fun. You get to hang out and live with your friends, and like you make a lot of money." And I mean, he had me at make a lot of money, so I was like, "Cool, let's make a lot of easy money. Let's do this. 3 months, come back a millionaire."
Easy money. You mentioned easy money. Was that really your thought? Because I found this.
Yeah, it honestly was.
Oh, what's this?
Oh yeah.
8 a.m. like team meetings. Blasting.
The team song.
Well, we did it once until our like 90-year-old neighbors asked us why we're blasting music at 8
Well, did we
a.m.
have fake dollar bills too?
Yes.
We did.
I think it lasted a couple of days at least.
Did it?
It was like
The first
Wednesday on the
week?
first week or something that we got the complaint.
Yeah.
Well, let me go back a little bit
What's the
because
big deal?
there was a time where we were really excited. Okay, this was like seriously going to be the summer
Oh, yeah.
that we would never stop talking about. And turns out that's true. That's like the thing
Nailed
that came
it.
out of it. But when did you break the news that we were going to Mesquite, Nevada? Then at some point we would drive to Reno, Nevada. And then at some point we would go knock doors in Elko, Nevada.
Yeah, that's a great question. Every good manager has a good plan. I hadn't even looked at the map to see how far away all those places were as far as like Mesquite and Panaca, like, and Caliani. So the reason why I chose, if I remember right, they would give you destinations that hadn't been to, that people hadn't sold at for a bit. So when I went to Hawaii, I'm a crappy salesperson. Like if people are like, no, I'm like, okay, sounds good. Like I don't like try and push it anymore. And in Hawaii, nobody had been there for like 10 years. So it was super easy. And then I saw that Mesquite, nobody had been there for like a really long time. I was like, easy money.
Easy money. Thus
But
the theme was born.
Little did I know on the map they gave us, like it had Mesquite and Panaca was like just a little dot right above it.
Just an hour and a half drive.
Yeah. It was an
It
hour and a
looks
half
close.
away.
It looks close.
It was really close on the map. And then I was like, when we're done there, we'll just go up to that other corner called Reno. And then on the way out, we'll go to Elko.
We literally didn't we drive back through Salt Lake
Yeah.
to get to Reno?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, so I
So it
don't.
wasn't very well planned by me. 100%.
Luckily, we were young, dumb, ignorant. Like
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, Nevada. It seems. Is it hot in the summer? I'm like, I don't know. I've never been there. And luckily, like I had no idea because I had that Toyota pickup truck that was like I got for free. My mom gave me a truck. I'm like, dude, mom, you're the greatest. This thing is like
2-seater, right? You might be able to squeeze
single
a
cab.
third.
We call it a single cab.
Yeah.
Did it have AC?
No AC.
Oh, good.
And I was like, it's fine. But it's not fine because we went to the hottest. It was like
No AC. I didn't
so hot.
realize that.
Yeah. You didn't even know. You didn't ask as my manager just to prepare me.
Oh no.
Yeah,
That's
it was
so
it was
funny.
easily like averaging 110
Oh,
like
dude.
most weeks.
It was
If
so
not higher.
freaking hot. Like I remember like trying to knock on somebody's door, my hand was like melting like on the door. I was like, oh, that's really hot.
No, I mean Jesse and I, we sold in Logandale, and where was the place close to there? I don't know. Moapa Valley. We used to find each other at the local library in the middle of the day, trying not to get heat stroke. We would just sit in the library for like an hour or two, like, oh man, it's 116 today. How long can we sit in here for and still get something done?
Eat your peanut butter and jelly sandwiches that were frozen on one side and dry as a bone on the other.
Soggy.
Soggy on one side,
Yeah.
dry as a bone on the other. That's right.
Hey, Lindsay. So when did you have a choice?
I don't remember.
Were you excited? Were you excited about this? Because you
I
sold.
I think I was excited. I was young, dumb, and stupid too. I'm like, sweet man, let's go do this. We're
Well,
gonna get rich.
Here's the thing that's crazy. You went and knocked doors too. It's not like you were just like making sandwiches for everyone and like, running the George Foreman when we got home. You were out knocking doors in the middle of like some of these people were creep meisters, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely dangerous.
Like what?
Mean
I
streets
just-
of Mesquite.
Well, where were we? Was it Bunkerville?
Oh,
I
yeah,
would like
dude.
drive like 25 minutes out of town. It would be like
Oh,
sandy roads, and
Oh, my
I wouldn't even
gosh.
know. And it'd be like one trailer house out in the distance. And I'd go knock on the door and be like, "Hi, I'm here, the folks down the street." And like it was so dangerous.
What
And then,
folks?
and then I'd be like, "Oh, please, God, like let my car reverse out of the sand so I don't get stuck." Seriously, I would pray like the whole time, just like, "Holy Father, don't let me die."
I don't think I knew about like how dangerous it could have been. I was just like, how many sets did you get?
Yeah, I know.
Like, did you sell or not?
Was it a good day or what?
We had the thermometer to fill up in the apartment manager's apartment.
Oh yeah, dude,
Like,
I
did-
forgot about the thermometer.
Like, what do you mean you only got one set? Get back out there, kid.
Get the family set going.
All right, so we decide we're in. We go down to Mesquite. We were still excited, even though it was already hot. This was, summertime.
June.
Who did come up with it? Was it Jeremy? Did you come up with easy money or James?
I think it was
I don't
Jeremy.
know.
Well, I think it was born from sales school, right?
Oh,
We need to mention sales school.
That's
Or we
true.
get-
Oh yeah.
We go to
dude.
a place in Ogden. I forget the name of it. Right off the
12th
freeway.
Street, 12th Street exit, that hotel.
And they kept us there for 2 days,
A
2 or
couple
3
days,
days.
yeah.
Yeah.
Several, really teaching us.
They were teaching us all the techniques.
All the mentoring.
Body
We had to
positioning.
buy our sweet bag, which James is really good salesman at getting me. Yeah, this is awesome. I get to pay $85 for this bag before I
We had
made
to
a
buy our
dime.
own bag.
You don't
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we had to buy the bag and all the product, the sample product that went into it. It wasn't just the bag.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like a whole investment just to get started.
No, but they were nice. They took it out of future commissions.
Yeah, exactly. Start in the hole.
Well, I'm sure you listen to those CDs a lot about
Great,
bad legs.
great Mormon women.
Great Mormon
Great
women,
Mormon
dude.
women.
That, you don't know how many souls that pushed over the edge.
Dramatized church history. Audio.
The secrets of
CDs.
Mormon.
Okay, so we got duped, and we knew at that point we were in for it. But I don't know. Did you guys not enjoy sales school? I thought it was kind of fun.
No, sales school is amazing.
Yeah.
And they showed you like averages of what people made.
Mm.
And it includes all the bigwigs or something because the average was like 25 grand or something. And we're like, oh my gosh, I'm making at least like 15, even if I suck.
Yeah, no, for sure. And that was where I saw dollar signs, is because I was like looking at these averages. I'm like, well, I could not do anything 4 days a week and still come home, like paying for 3 years of school or something.
Yeah, the one guy was talking about coming home and buying a brand new truck, like in cash or something.
That was my dream. Come home and buy a car. with
Wasn't
cash.
that it?
That
Yeah,
was
you
it.
were like, I'm buying a car at the end of the summer.
That was my whole goal. And instead, I ended up taking out school loans. Federal loans, baby.
Oh,
Still paying on them.
I was stoked after sales school. They did a great job getting us pumped up. We're ready to go. James is still talking about Hawaii. We go down there, talk about the morning. Like, you did a good job building culture, James.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, you did.
We came over. We had an
I think
apartment
we were
next
all
to you guys.
Friends. So that was pretty easy.
Yeah.
Oh
well,
my
you did
gosh,
something.
I'm remembering.
We would come over in the morning and you're like, yeah, come over because we have like meetings every morning. We're going to get pumped and then we're going to go out and like slay. So what did we do in the morning?
All I remember was blasting Billy Joel's Easy Money and like getting totally stoked and like
Dancing.
dancing before we went out. We went on the first week or less than a week before our
Few
upstairs
days.
because we were in the basement apartment of a furnished apartment right next to Eureka. right?
Yeah.
Wasn't
Oh,
that
yeah.
the place? It was a nice apartment, probably the best one we had.
Oh,
By
easily.
far.
Yeah, that was
And
nice.
then I think our neighbors upstairs just didn't appreciate like
There's a lot of
dance
older
parties,
folks.
dance parties at 8 a.m. That was the perfect hour to get out knocking doors 8 a.m. when it wasn't so hot.
Yeah.
And people love a knock on the door at 8:30.
8 a.m. We're ready to make big decisions.
Yeah. So that tradition lasted long enough for our regional manager or whatever to show up, and we did it with him in the room, if you remember.
Are you
Oh,
serious?
I remember that.
Oh,
It was very
Jared.
cringe.
Jared. Something.
He didn't understand the vibe.
Oh no, he didn't.
Like, these
But
guys
he
have
did take
no
us to a
idea.
Chinese restaurant.
Yes.
He took us out to eat, and then probably took it out of our future commission.
This will only cost you $30.
So I actually remember we just got married. We didn't have none of us had any money. And so I was pretty stoked because we had like a studio apartment. And but then when I got down there, I was like, oh, well, it didn't have like a tiny fridge. We didn't have like a grill or anything like that. We went to a garage sale. We scored. We got like did we get speakers? I swear I got speakers. We got like a George Foreman grill, a blender,
I had no idea.
Maker.
sandwich
Oh,
maker. Yeah.
serious?
This lady was having a garage sale, and she just thought we were the cutest couple, and we're like, oh. And so anyway, she was like, here, just take it. And so we got like a sandwich maker, George Foreman, 2 nice luggage. What was it?
Pierre
Cardin. And then
You guys don't know Pierre Cardin?
No, I don't.
we didn't know either, but they were really nice. And later in life, we took them on a trip, and someone like stole the Pierre Cardin like symbol off of
Are you
them.
serious?
So I mean, they
Wow.
were.
Oh yeah, those
But
are nice.
The lady she was so nice, but that's all we ate. I remember we'd come home at like 9 or 10 at night, and we'd
Yeah.
grill up, like chicken tenders on the George Foreman, and then we like eat, and then be like, all right, love you, and just like roll into bed. It smells like chicken. Like it was just like we were sleeping in our
That's the
chicken.
life. That
It
is the
was
life.
terrible.
You're welcome. Everybody.
It literally was those frozen chicken tenders from Costco,
Oh yeah.
and we just ate those and just like grill them up in the studio. So it was just like everything just like smoky and like the comforter. I still remember that. I'm just like, oh, what are we doing? So actually, because of that, I didn't mind going out. I'm like, oh, sweet, let's get out of here. I don't want to hang out in this chicken infested place. So I was motivated to get out.
That's when everyone discovered libraries.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
everywhere we went, we're
Oh,
like,
yeah,
we gotta
dude.
get a library
Where's
card.
that local library?
Oh.
Yep.
I'd never been to a library before or since, really. Love those libraries. Do you remember that our condo or whatever had 2 bedrooms? So we'd rotate. One person would get a
Yep.
bed by themselves.
Who was sharing the
We'd
bed?
share the other.
Oh, yeah.
And I think Brad stopped by on his way to California or whatever and walked in, like our 2 heads pop up, and he's like, whoa. You guys are sharing beds. Like, that's our only option.
It's only what the budget calls
Yeah.
for it.
Well,
I think I moved out to the couch at one point.
I think eventually was it Reno where we all just slept on cots in the living room?
Yes. And there was no lights.
Yeah.
in that
That was
apartment,
nice.
Which is weird.
Yeah.
It was only like lamps. And we're like, we can't invest in a lamp for 1 month. So it's just darkness all the time.
Sleeping on cots.
Oh my gosh.
Jeremy,
Yeah.
you had this dream to buy a car,
Mhm.
easy money. What happened?
Not a lot. No, I feel like I did all right. I feel like I hit that like, even if I suck, I'm gonna do okay mark that Jesse was talking about. But my problem was I would make the sale and then people would cancel within the win. There was like a 3 to 5 day
3 days
cancellation
before
period or
something.
something. So the people would buy it and then they would cancel. So I was in this constant process of like, 1 step forward, 2 steps back, not really ever gaining any ground.
So we're at first the sales strategies you learned from sales school were working.
Yeah. Oh, well, they worked all the way through. I mean, that's what was so frustrating. I was making the sales. They were just disappearing too.
I think did we decide collectively? Were you like intimidating them? Like what? Why were they canceling? Because you had the highest cancellation rates of all time. I think.
Yeah. You got me. I don't know. Like maybe. I thought I was.
I have a
nice.
theory.
What's your theory? I'm curious. I mean, I didn't even have like a
I
beard
was
or
in
anything.
on
I was
some of
pretty.
the sales that you made.
Oh, it's coming out.
and I
So-
have a little theory.
Okay.
As a manager, I haven't told you till now.
You were, especially as the summer went on, you became a bit more like cynical about the whole thing,
That's weird.
and you didn't believe in the product. Like you thought you were ripping them off, basically.
That's deep.
And I think that like
It showed.
that came through. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Either in the moment or like later on, they're just like, I don't know.
Jeremy, do you think that you lost belief as time went on?
I would say there's a faith crisis in there because I saw how much money I was making and I started to face the reality of what the next school year in college was going to be. So I struggled. Yes.
Well, I mean, honestly, I talk all the time on this podcast about belief. And like, if you don't believe in what you're selling, it's just not going to work. And if you do believe, it's going to happen. So maybe there's bad dogs onto something over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. James, I'm curious to hear what your theory is.
Sometimes you just weren't very good.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. No, but
Ouch.
sometimes you would try. I wasn't with you very many times, but there's one. I swear I talked to you about this then. They were like kind of iffy on if they'd sell, and you were like trying to use it as a joke, but you're like kind of serious too. You're like, "Is it me?" Like, when they didn't want to. So I think they're like, "Oh no!" Like, of course we want this.
Oh, no, we'll buy it. We'll just cancel in an hour.
So I think that might have been part of it. Just kidding.
Yeah. I mean, I think for me, like, it was hard to relate to, like, I believed in the product. I really truly did, because I had friends that grew up with Living Scriptures and they're like, they're the best. And, you know, I'm like, okay, like, I believe this. But when I was trying to hawk them for $30 a pop, I'm like, I don't know what is worth, you know, this monthly fee.
Well, if you just think of it as one soda a day.
That was
$1
my
a day. Now you pay $3 for
Yeah.
a soda.
Or a Big Mac. Like, you don't go to McDonald's twice and you got it.
Oh,
Yeah.
believe me, that was half of my pitch. Was like, you know, even as a college student, I could afford this. I started tracking how much I was spending on big gulps and candy, and it was more than what you would be paying a month. They didn't buy that shit though.
I think that's really what happened though. Like the worse your summer went, the more like stingy you got, and you couldn't fathom paying $30 a month.
That's
That's
exactly it.
It really was.
It hit you so early on, though, dude. I remember you and Mesquite coming home. I like come home and you're on the couch with a calculator, and your hands are like sweating. I was like, we're 2 weeks in, and you're like, my hands are peeling, James. And I'm like, dude, you can go home. Like,
I wasn't gonna
you can
quit.
Go home.
I
You
just
don't need to stay here.
it was just rather intense, you know. I mean, I'd been home from my church mission for like a little over a year, and it wasn't as hard as this sales job. And people were threatening to kill me on that mission. So like,
Oh man.
anyways,
I've never seen anybody as stressed as Jeremy that summer.
Oh, I know. I feel really bad, actually.
I feel really
Sorry.
bad that I was that outwardly stressed. I'm sorry, guys.
Every team meeting, like once a week, we'd get our papers of like how many sets we sold, and I was like, "Oh crap, Jeremy, don't look." He'd be like, "Oh, oh man, it was
-2? How did I get negative?
Well, Lindsay was doing well, so she was embarrassed
you leading?
to be like, Jeremy,
oh, that's
like,
not true."
I
she
think
would
you
tell
sold the
James, like,
most,
hey,
didn't you?
I sold 16 this week. Just say 3. I don't want Jeremy getting upset.
I'm sorry.
You're
guys.
nice. You did sell the most, I think, out of everybody the whole
did?
summer. Yeah.
No,
I-
I think you or Ryan did.
No, I don't. I think it was one of you guys.
I mean, I don't want to take credit for it, but I kind of did.
Yeah.
But Lindsay sold a lot. Like, she did like
Yeah.
really well. I can't remember what the
I
numbers
totally
were.
forgotten that. But yeah, you guys killed it.
Well, I'm very impressed, James, because I did so well that they invited me
Totally.
to be a manager.
Oh yeah. 100%. I saw that in you from day one.
You knew, yeah, and you probably got a commission
He was
for,
just
for
grooming
me
you.
becoming a manager.
I
But
should have. I don't think I did.
dude,
Someone did.
if we have time, I'll tell a little bit about my second year.
Oh, for sure.
And it didn't go nearly as well as yours. And we're talking about how bad it went. So like, yeah, it went bad. So I'm very impressed. Manager to manager. I mean, you got all of us to stay.
You understand me.
Oh, you complete me. That was impressive. Jesse, at what point did you decide this is a good thing, this is a bad thing? Like, were things on track for you?
I think midway through the summer, I realized I wasn't going to make 15 grand that I hoped I was going to make as like a base, worst case scenario. But I was making something, and I was there with my brother, This is part of it that made Jeremy stay and me stay was like we were in this together on some level. And I was going through all sorts of crazy adversity in the midst of it.
Let's talk about some of that adversity, Jesse.
Yeah. I mean, do we want to day one?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're still in Mesquite.
Yeah. So to set the picture, you go to sales school, they give you the bag, you've got some sample videos in the bag, and they tell you what to wear and they tell you how to turn on the porch, and start laughing. Oh, I was just talking with some of your neighbors down the street, the Johnsons, them. And then, right, so then you get in the door. But prior to that, all they give you is a list of people who have bought Living Scriptures in the past. And this was like 10 years in the past. It had been a long time. Maybe it was like 7. I don't know what it was. It was a lot. And so you have this list and you show up in this 114-degree weather with your black bag, and you're just showing up on random doorsteps with names of people who might not even be there. And that first day is really rough. And people are just, it's like winter there for them. They don't go outside. They stay inside and keep the AC on and stuff. And you're just kind of this weird stranger on their door. So first day was rough. And I'm just like having a moment at the end of the day. I'm so hot. I pull over. I don't know where I'm at. I'm trying to find the next address. And right behind me, or I think as I pulled over, I see a police car pull onto the same street as me. And then I see him slow down and turn around and like come behind me. It's like, awesome. He walks up to my door. I roll it down. And he's like, what are you doing? And I explain. And I'm like kind of a wreck right then. I don't know. It's just been a long, hard day, and I was so hot.
Were you crying?
I was a little misty-eyed. We'll say that. I was misty-eyed. And he says, man, is your bearing down on you? And I don't
knew.
remember how I responded.
He
knew what a jerk James was.
Yeah.
No, he had sold Living Scriptures before too.
Yeah.
And not only that, it wasn't just this summer. I mean, he knew you grew up with James,
Right.
The trauma.
Well, didn't he say something like, I've had some reports of a guy walking around with a duffel bag going up to people's houses?
Yeah, there was a reason why he stopped. He figured I was the weirdo,
Did they think you were casing the place, or like you're a hitman with the duffel bag, or what?
I don't know the reason. Yeah, just some.
Did he tell you to stop knocking?
No.
I love that he said that. Do you know why I pulled you over? Because like you didn't pull me over. I was already over.
I was
you
already
came behind
me.
me.
I did it before. I was just having an emotional moment.
Well, that makes me sad, Jesse. I mean, I sometimes there was days where I was like so happy because I sold like a good day, and then I would come back to the team meeting and everyone was like depressed. I was like,
No, the first thing is Ryan goes and does his first. He goes to his first house, and we are like texting each other because we're like different places. And then like 20 minutes later, he's like, I sold 6. I'm like, oh my gosh. He's like, it totally works. I'm like, that's amazing. So Ryan's always like got good luck somehow. Like he can just like his first door, he sells 6 sets. Like we're all like,
your first door? Seriously?
Yes.
That is crazy.
Holy crap.
That's amazing. You remember that too.
I remember.
Why wouldn't you remember your first one?
Exactly. Well, I remember going through the exact motions, and they're like, "Look down, don't make eye contact." Which works? All this stuff, and I was just like, like shaking, and they're like, "Yeah, let's just do this one." I'm like, "Hey, great, credit card or check or I can't remember what the line was, but they just did exactly. They go get the check. I'm like, writing down 37.50. I'm starting to feel guilty. Like, what's going on? Like, I couldn't believe it. That's why I like. called her after, and I was so excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, I did exactly as they said. I turned my body and I did like that, and I got in the door. And then I said these things. I'm like, hey, wait, you got these bonuses. You want the Mormon Hymn Classics, or do you want the Great Mormon Women? And I just gave him everything. I gave him all the bonuses because I had like 7 points left. Like it was crazy. I couldn't believe it.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, that was
I
not
should
my
have had you.
experience.
I should have had you run the next team meeting.
I probably lied to everyone. I was like, yeah, this sucks. Like, what a shitty summer, huh?
We are screwed.
Yeah. So much for buying new cars, huh?
Oh my gosh. Didn't what save us? Didn't we all get into The Bachelor or something? That was like the first Bachelor.
Oh, yeah.
summer. We got way into that when we come
We
home from
marathon that,
sales.
yeah.
It was a marathon?
Yeah,
It was
that's
just
what we
one
did.
Sunday.
Yeah, there's one Sunday where they were just running it back to back.
Right. That's amazing. We all became citizens.
Hey, Jesse, what happened when you got to
Bachelor
Reno?
Nation.
Talk about what. There's one thing I'm thinking of. What was your tribulation in Reno?
Well, what happened before Reno was that my little 84 Honda Prelude couldn't handle the 114-degree weather, and it broke down 6 times.
Oh,
Didn't you keep getting sold like faulty car parts too? to fix
That
it?
happened one time,
Oh, really?
and they wouldn't take it back the next day.
So
and I
what'd
was
you
so
do?
pissed. I just left it on there.
Didn't you leave it with a note that said thanks a lot or something?
I don't remember.
I'm
I
pretty
was
sure.
pretty petty about it.
What was it? I don't even remember.
Starter, fuel pump, starter again, I think.
Was it
Or
one
no,
of them
2
an
fuel
alternator?
pumps and a starter and an alternator, I think. Yeah.
Oh, so that was a faulty one then?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Dude, I thought your dad was a mechanic.
I'm
He
really
couldn't have hooked you up
sorry.
before you left.
I'm really sorry.
He did. He had that thing running, but it couldn't take the heat. So Jeremy was my homie in the valley. So he came to my rescue every single time. And we ended up doing a lot of sales calls together.
Sure did. I remember
So-
getting every time I saw Jesse calling me on the phone, I was like, oh no, car down, car down.
So
man.
we'd been through a lot already. We get to Reno and things are going mediocre, I would say.
That's putting it nicely.
I was making a sale every once in a while, I would say. And I walk out one morning, I've got my PB&J sandwich in my cooler. Everything's all packed, and I am walking out to my car, and it's just not in the spot that I for sure parked it in. And so, my car had been stolen.
Oh my gosh.
I get on the phone and I call the Reno police. I say, yeah, I want to report a stolen car. They say, is it a Honda or a Saturn? I'm like, it's a Honda. How did you know? They're like, they're really easy to steal. I'm like,
That's crazy.
thank you. And they didn't want it. I mean, they took the info, but they were going to do nothing about it. And so I hung out with James and Jeremy.
And
So
we-
you
need a
week
car to make
well,
money.
like less than a week before, somebody broke in and stolen all the CDs and the
Yeah.
speakers in
Yeah.
your stereo, and then
Yeah.
it was a week later they stole the car.
Yeah. So 2 car break-ins and one of them being the car missing. I remember Jesse had left the apartment and just, ready to go. And he came back in like 90 seconds later and he's like, my car's not there. And I remember just this
remember that.
bewilderment. I'm like, well, did you forget where you
Why
parked?
would it not be there?
What do you mean? He's like, no, it's not there. I'm like, so where'd you park?
Right.
Like it wasn't connecting. He's like, no, my car's been stolen. I'm like, no, it hasn't.
But it was weird because it did seem like a really sketchy. It was like nicer apartments. I felt like for the time. Were they?
Yeah.
We had
The area.
different perspective back then, James.
Yeah. But it was, I mean, there's some way sketchy. Like it wasn't. I don't know.
I agree. It wasn't insanely sketchy.
On the surface.
But then that's not the end of the story, dude.
Yeah. So a week later, probably, I'd been.
Was it that long?
It was a while later, at least I would say at least 4 or 5 days later. It was a while later. I get a call and it's somebody from a dealership. They're like, hey, did you test drive a car recently? And I was like, no, but I did have a car stolen. They're like, is it a 84 Honda Prelude? I was like, yeah. They're like, okay, well, somebody brought your car in and test drove a Toyota Supra and never came back with a Supra. So your car is at our place. And I was like, oh, okay. Apparently it was like a 6 foot tall redheaded cowboy guy.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember that
So,
part.
Yeah, so it was a Volkswagen dealership, and he was going to test drive the car, and the guy set the keys on his desk and got a phone call and turned around, and he took the keys and was gone, and left the Prelude.
Yep. So I get to my car, the door's jacked, the stereo's gone, speakers are gone. So I got to sing to myself the rest of the summer.
But the car ended up working after that.
Yeah, ish. Yeah,
You
it
made it
wasn't
through?
as hot in northern Nevada as it was in southern Nevada, so it handled it a little better.
Yep. And we did have an adventure together. Remember that? Well, we were sailing together.
Yeah, you got to tell this one.
So we're sailing together in Sparks, Nevada, and we go up to knock on a door, and the biggest moth I've ever seen is on the door.
It was huge.
It was massive. And so I'm like, we got it. We struck a jackpot. So I catch this. And I called the University of Nevada. I was like, I'm willing to sell this moth to you.
I forgot about this.
And they told me they don't pay for moths. But I was like, I'm still bringing it to you. You got
Why?
to see this.
I've never seen a moth and thought I struck the jackpot.
Was it the biggest moth you've ever seen?
There's probably been one moth that was the biggest moth I've
Yeah.
ever seen, but
Well,
it's just never. My mind's never gone there.
That's where my
Easy
mind,
money.
easy money.
Easy money, baby.
I was dialed in that summer.
You were dialed in.
So we drove it from Sparks all the way to the University of Nevada.
How far is that? Do you
It's
remember?
it's like probably 30 minutes.
Good use of time.
Was it in a jar or in your hand?
Yeah,
or-
we had a red Solo cup in the car, and so we caught it on the doorstep, and then took it there, and they took it from us, but they didn't pay me a dime.
Was it alive?
Oh yeah, it was kind of scared, and I think like pooping and stuff because it was a little stressed in the cup.
Moths poop.
I think it left some stuff in there.
That's crazy. I
Yeah.
never knew about this moth that was
Yeah,
supposed
yeah.
to be easy money.
I told them I'd accept $1,200, and
What did they do when you made this great offer?
they just laughed and said we don't pay for moths.
Oh, that's weird.
And
How
First
did
for
you even
everything.
get a hold of the right people.
I don't know. We found them though. We went in there and they had all those moths on the board, like pinned on, like all the bugs. Have you seen those?
Yeah.
Little boards. Yeah, they had a lot of those.
You walk in like, oh, this is the right place. I'm gonna make a lot of money. Easy money.
You must have paid about
I gotta talk with.
$500,000 for all these moths on the board.
I'm in the
in the
wrong
right
business. I gotta start selling moths.
That's
It
crazy.
was huge.
Was it that much bigger than the ones you saw on the boards?
Yeah, it was big.
Well, that's crazy. All right. What else happened? Okay. I want to get to also. We went to after Reno. We went to Elko. Elko, I guess, is like a bunch of whorehouses and stuff. There's a mine, brothels, and a mine. I think that's all that's there, and more studio apartment living. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This was smaller.
Smallest thing
Talk
I've
about
ever
your guys'
seen.
setup.
Okay, when we first get into town, we stop at the grocery store to pick up a few things, as you do, and we're checking out, and I think it's the three of us, and I think James is talking to the cashier. She's probably like in her early 20s or something. He's like, "So what's there fun to do around here?"
I don't remember.
Have sex and do drugs.
Serious? Oh, we found the place, guys.
Cha-ching.
We found
she said it in the most like depressing way ever. It's like, okay.
She wasn't even excited about having sex and
No.
doing drugs. She's done so
it
much.
Been
A,
there, done
a
that.
lifetime of it.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry.
Easy
Yeah.
money. And then so you guys go into your studio. What was the living situation like for three dudes?
The floor was just big enough for 2 air mattresses,
Was it just two?
or was
Or
it
all
one?
three of ours?
I
might
think it
have
was
been
just
Floor-
2.
It was wall to wall air
Air
mattress.
mattress. Yeah, we had to roll everywhere because we didn't want to pop the air mattresses, so we couldn't walk.
Yeah, you couldn't
had to
walk in there.
roll.
If it was nighttime and the air mattresses
Oh,
are blowing
yeah.
up, like to go to the bathroom at night, you'd have to do a backwards somersault
Yeah.
and then stand up in the bathroom like you're doing a gymnastics routine.
And then the kitchen was only big enough for one person to
Yeah.
stand in. It had just like a hot plate.
Yep.
maybe, And then a sink, and that was it. And then there was a closet that wasn't that big that we had to store everything in. So Jeremy had to climb in there all the time, and it was like an adventure to get out. And he said, every time I get out of this closet, I feel like I'm being born again.
Because you're like prying your way out, like, and I don't know, all the
That's
obstacles. Yeah.
Jeremy came out of the
Oh my
closet.
gosh, you guys got to share your story about the the gentleman you found that lived in the apartments with us
Brett.
that was out seeing the world, and he would use.
I love
soda
that
as
you
a weight
remember his
gainer.
name, Ryan. I mean, that he truly had an impact on you guys.
Brett's my guy, dude.
You'd see him all over town.
Yeah.
Like he'd be walking. Everywhere
would
with his
be.
soda.
He's drinking like
weight
Mountain
gainer.
Dew.
Yeah.
And I asked him, I'm like, dude, and I wasn't even a Mountain Dew fan at that point. I mean, I would drink it, but not as much as Brett. And I was like, dude, you drink a lot of Mountain Dew every time I see you around town. He's like, oh yeah, it's a weight gainer.
Yeah.
The kid weighed like 80 pounds.
Yeah.
He was so
Tiny. He was obviously having lots of sex and doing lots of drugs. And one day he's like, hey, you need to meet, what was some girl's name, Jessica or Samantha. He's telling me with us together. He's telling me, oh, dude, Jess, you would love Jessica. She would love you. And I'm like, and I didn't know about the whole sex and drugs thing at the store. So now it makes sense, Jesse. I had no idea.
Like every time we would see Brett, he'd be like, I got a girl for you. You guys would love each other.
He would
I'm
say,
like,
you guys?
No, well, him.
Oh,
And
okay.
then
I thought he was saying
Jessica.
like you too.
And I'm like, we're married, dude. Yeah, I know, but she would love him. I'm like, dude, what? Like being
She
innocent.
would think you're
people-
such a great guy.
Yeah, you guys would hit it off. I'm like, what the heck? Every time we'd see him.
One night he came over to the apartment. I thought you guys were pranking us because we lived like right next door to each other. And there's this someone outside and they're like, hey, Ryan or something, And I was like, what? We're watching like that comedian. Whose line? No, it was the other one that was like, all right, it was whose line is it anyway? We're watching the thing and I hear and I'm like, hey, Brett, because I swear it was one of you guys. I'm like, why are you? It's like 10:30 at night, and you guys are like, hey, Ryan, or whatever. Like, hey, Brett. He's like, too late for chit chat. And I'm like, what? Yeah, too late for chit chat. I'm like, I'm in bed, dude. Like the window's just open.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Just
so hot.
noisy.
Yeah. I'm like, dude, I'm in bed. He's like, oh, all right, hit me up tomorrow, man. I'll connect you with Jessica. Yeah, I'm just like, why? Who is this guy? Why is he bothering me?
Oh my gosh.
One day he did invite us over to his house, and I'm
This
like,
is the best story.
so we go with Lindsay, and he's got like a guitar, and he's got he's got a guitar sitting out, and I see a piece of paper on the desk, like handwritten. It was like handwritten just on a notepad or whatever. And I'm like, oh, what's that? And he's like, oh, I'm a songwriter. And I'm like, you're a songwriter? Like, what is that? What do you? And he's like, oh yeah, I write songs. I'm like, oh dude, I had no idea. And I'm like, why don't you want to like sing one? And he's like, yeah. And he starts singing this song.
No, dude, tell the setup. Dude, those apartments are so small.
Oh, okay. That's true.
It's like sets the scene.
Same studio apartment, couch to couch. We are like,
No, he's on the end of his bed, right?
He's on
And you're
a
on the
couch,
couch.
maybe, or I can't remember.
he might have been on his bed
There's a
because there
little-
was a
There's no
place for us
room.
to sit where it was really close.
We were on chairs. It was a tiny little table in between, and we were on chairs. And Ryan's like, "Yeah, sing us a song." I'm like, "Oh gosh!" So he starts singing a song, and he has a pencil. There's a pencil on the desk, and Ryan's like getting into it and stuff. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I'm going to die." I was trying not to laugh, and it hurt so bad, and I was so mad at him. I'm like, "Why do you do this? This is terrible." But anyway, he rewrote Creed's song or whatever.
What do you do?
He wrote, is it Creed?
Yeah.
Because it was Hands Wide Open, but his was, is it?
No, that was his version.
That was his version.
His version was Hands Wide Open, and it was just arms wide open, but hands wide open.
It was the exact same lyrics. And here's the thing: of everyone in this room, I am least like I don't know music. There's no song in the world that I know all the lyrics. So it didn't like hit me straight off that he was just copying a song. And I'm like, that's not bad. I mean, he's not
Pretty good.
yeah, I'm like better than me. He's not a good singer, but I'm like, but he said he's a songwriter. So, like I'll give him the singing. And I'm like, okay, the lyrics, whatever. And then he's like, with hands wide open, with hands wide open. And I was like, I feel like I know this. Do I know that? And I go, is that like that other? There's a song. It's like with arms wide open. He goes, no, this is with hands wide open. I'm like,
Oh my god.
what is happening? And so it was kind of a miracle that I recognize that song because I'm not like I don't know a lot of artists. I don't know a lot of songs. And the fact that I even recognize that, yeah, I don't think his music career went much further than that. But, I just like jamming with the people, he was trying to get the rhythm. I was tapping like, let's go, Brett. Me and you, buddy.
That was so good.
Was that a cappella too? Did he not pick up the
No,
guitar?
there was no.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Dude, I just picture you guys like knee to knee, like so close in those studios.
It was very close.
And then it happened again.
Again?
Yes.
Not with Brett.
Not with Brett, but we were somewhere else. I can't remember. And there was a lady that like fell in love with Ryan, some old like Hispanic lady, and she loved Ryan. And she like, anyway, she invited us for dinner or something.
Oh, I remember this.
I don't remember this at all.
And then so we eat dinner, and then she starts singing a song, and I'm like, "What
Well, I
is?"
asked her to.
Oh, God.
She had a guitar, and she played. I was like, "Wow, so you play the guitar?" And she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I'd love to hear something."
Do you remember what she played?
No idea.
But it was another situation where it just was like so painful to be there because I wanted to laugh so hard, and it was like
Oh
you
my
can't
gosh.
laugh. It
That's
hurts so
good.
bad.
It was epic. I wish I could remember that lady's name and the song and everything. But that
That's
I think
amazing.
that might have been the next year in San Diego.
Oh, was it?
I think it might have been.
That's
So
good.
a lot of suffering. When you guys look back now, is there certain times that you're like grateful that you went through it? You went through the tribulation?
I would say when we're talking about it,
Yeah.
it's impossible not to laugh at the pain, you know?
Yeah, it was really fun. Like looking back now, but yeah, it was. I can't believe I did it. Like
Yeah.
thinking about like knocking on doors in that heat now would be. I don't think you could pay me to do it.
I don't know how
You
long
did
you
really
want to
get
go on
paid to
for,
do
but I think we would be remiss if we didn't talk about a few of the Panaca incidents.
Oh,
I'd love
totally
to.
forgot about. Oh yeah.
Is that okay?
Oh yeah. We
Sorry.
got
Back to Mesquite.
that's fine. We're going back to Mesquite. So we've gone a little bit of Mesquite, a little Reno, a little Elko.
Yeah.
We did skip over a few very important turnout areas in
Yeah. So
Panaca.
going back to the map that I thought those little dots were pretty close together on the map, turns out Panaca is really far away from Mesquite. We had to go back through St. George, which is 35, 40 minutes.
at least.
Then up this highway all the way up to the highway that takes you, it runs east-west to Cedar City. You turn left and just head towards Nevada again. So you do this huge loop to get out to Panaca. It was so far away.
It was
that Jeremy and I would drive out there, camp overnight out there.
well, at first we were going back and forth. Like the first
We
week we were like back and forth every day, and it was like, this is ridiculous. We're 3 hours in the car to sell 2 sets, you know, or for me, like go -2, you know, like. And so then James had this idea, which was a fairly good idea. Like, why don't we go out there and then sleep there and then get up and sell for a full day and then sleep there again and then come back and, you know, minimize the
miles
car
on the
time.
car. Yeah.
So we did that, but the problem was there wasn't really anywhere to stay in Panaca, Nevada, and I'm sure that's hard to imagine.
no hotels.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
Or maybe you couldn't afford one, or they
even
didn't
if
have
there
one.
were, like,
don't think
I
there
wasn't
were
paying
any.
for it. Yeah.
There's no. I don't think there were any hotels, and there's no way we could afford it.
So we had
Pay for anything.
we had a few sleep spots. We tried a few different things. One of them was we found this field with a bunch of cows.
Yeah.
Is
Oh,
this camping in your car?
Well,
No.
we had like cots that we would
sleeping
like
bags.
put together, and we would put the cots together and put our sleeping bags on it, and we literally
Oh
slept
yeah,
in a
we'd
field.
park our cars and then
right
we'd
next
put
to
our
each other.
cots in between, so it protected us.
Yeah. So we woke up one day with cows mooing, and
No, in the middle of the night because they had separated. I don't know much about cows, but I guess if you separate the little ones from the moms, they just moo at each other all night.
yeah.
So the entire night they're just mooing, just like calling for each other, and we're just laying there like all next to them all.
Yeah.
It was so crappy.
So then we were like, okay, we can't do that again. And I remember waking up and like flies all over my face, and it was, you know, like 85 degrees, and I'm like, this is not good. And I remember do you remember that truck stop that we would go and shower at? You like put the quarters in, you get for like 50 cents, you got like 2 minutes or something. Yeah, that was fun. And I remember one day, like we were driving around, and there was a scenic lookout overlook, and it was just like a big parking lot. And I don't know, I don't know if it was your idea, But we're like, hey, what if we just like slept there? We just put the cars, right next to each other and slept in between them on the cots.
I'm pretty sure there's lots of signs saying no camping.
Oh, at least 3.
Yeah.
I don't think that's camping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sleeping.
Yeah.
We pulled that.
So we would meet there after our days of selling. And I remember this one night, we just, and it was awkward too, right? Like, because every now and again somebody would pull over, and so we would have to wait for a while until it was pretty dark, and we were almost sure that nobody would pull over because we didn't want to be sitting there in our sleeping bags while people were just like walking around this overlook. And so this one night we had set everything up. We're laying there, we're asleep, and I remember it was like 1 a.m, 2 a.m. It was really early in the morning. We get woken up, a car pulls in, and I'm like, what the heck? Like, what time is it? And I'm like, well, it's so early. And then all of a sudden we hear people get out, and like, what do you remember the first thing that they're saying?
I don't remember this at all, to be honest.
You don't? No, like they get out, and there's these
through.
voices, and there's at least 2 or 3 people talking, and one of them was saying something to the effect of like, we've got to take her to the hospital. She's got to go to the psych ward like right now. You don't remember?
Oh my
this?
gosh.
No, not at all.
And I'm like laying there. I'm like, James, what do we do?
Oh my gosh.
And James
Manager.
is like, yeah, manager James is just like, don't say a word.
Dude, that's sound
Don't-
advice.
Yeah, don't talk. And we're sitting here, and like, it was probably like a 5 or 10 minute thing, like where they're like debating what to do with this person that is like apparently lost it and is unstable. And I'm like, they're gonna kill us. I'm not getting out of this. Like they're gonna get out of the car. They're gonna start hacking us to pieces.
What if there's already a body in their
Oh,
trunk?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was like something you see in a movie, right? Where like people are just like screwed, and they
Sleeping
pull.
on a cot in a parking lot and then they get killed.
Yeah, exactly.
All the
That
time.
happens all the time.
Yeah.
So, we lived through that, which was nice.
Then what happened? They left?
They
That's
just
why I don't
and yeah,
remember
they
this
just
at
left.
all.
They just like finally like they stopped arguing, got back in the car, and took off, and went back to sleep, and woke up like it was something normal
Dude.
to do.
It gave me an idea. Next time I see anyone camping somewhat near the road and I'm driving by at 2 a.m.,
Just pull over.
I'm going to say some crazy shit. Yeah. Oh my gosh, she just bled out. What do we do? Do we dump the body here? Or do we go a little bit? Let's just go. Let's go.
Like,
Oh my gosh.
And then you remember the other incident though, right?
With the highway patrolman?
Yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah.
gotta. This one's great.
So again, we're sleeping there and we wake up. It's like, the sun's waking you up at like 6, 7 in the
Yeah.
morning. It's bright as day. It's like warm. So we're out of our sleeping bags, but laying on our cots, just laying there. Like obviously like pillows out, blankets, sleeping bag, cots. This highway patrolman like rolls up, gets out, and he's like, you guys know there's no camping here, right? And he's like, was it you or me? I was just like,
It was you.
me. I was like, no, we're just resting.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're just resting.
This
And
is
again,
our resting gear.
yeah.
Resting.
And Lindsay, like you, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm dying right now. How do I not just start laughing hysterical?
Oh my
We didn't even like get up. We just
No, we just lay there.
talking to him.
You lay there in your resting bag?
We didn't
I don't even know if
budge.
did we even have like full clothes on? Like we may have
Oh,
just
yeah,
been in
we
our
were naked.
well, not naked, but like in like underwear, just in the sleeping bag or something. I mean, sleeping fully clothed, it's not like you got cool. It was still hot.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was very awkward.
It was amazing.
But then the epilogue.
What happened? Oh, and then I went and sold at his house that
Yeah.
day. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. Hey, guy.
Knocked on his door.
It's a small town.
And how'd it go? Did you get in?
I don't think so. Yeah.
You didn't even get in?
You
No, I
did.
got in.
Oh, you did?
I don't think I sold though.
You did admit to him though that we were camping.
Yeah.
I remember you told him that, and
Yeah.
he was like, "Yeah, I know."
That'd be good to come clean before the close.
Yeah.
Like, hey, just so we're transparent about everything, we were totally camping.
That's what got the deal done. This guy's honest.
I'm
Yeah.
honest in all my dealings.
Dude, I just can't help but think. I'm listening to these stories, guys, and I probably knew some of them, but I didn't know. Like, I can't remember some of these. And literally, like the fact that you guys were willing to not quit, dude. I probably talked to thousands of business owners and salespeople at this point. Most people would not camp out on an overlook and deal with mooing cows. Like they would have been home, dude. Like
Yeah.
seriously,
It
you
is
got
weird
you
that we
guys.
stayed.
like I admire that so much, to be like, I don't know what you had in you at the point, if you're like, well, I don't have anything else to do, or like what it was, but like good for you for freaking sticking to it, because most people try it one time and they're like, yeah, it didn't work. Like you guys had some serious discipline.
Well, thank you, Ryan. You know, you guys, what else? Oh, do you remember how we got the 4th of July at Lake Tahoe? You guys remember that?
Yeah.
So we went out to Lake Tahoe and we played in the water, and it was so freaking cold. I swear we played like Marco Polo or something for like 2 seconds. We're like, this is crazy cold. Let's get back on the beach.
Because it looked beautiful. We're like, oh,
it's
dude,
gorgeous.
we deserve this. What a hard summer.
Yeah.
Let's get in this
One day
beautiful
off
water.
the whole summer.
Yeah.
And so everyone's like, the best fireworks are at Incline Village. We're like, oh, Incline Village, let's go. We go, there's a gated community, right? Remember, they wouldn't let us in. And then Jesse, I think, noticed like that they all had this red stamp that they were showing to get in. So Jesse, the artist, we just went over across the street to the casino and asked for a red pen, and he drew that little mark on her hand. We all got in, right?
I remember. That was nice.
It was nice. That was a high point.
Job, Jess.
It was a
And
good
I
night.
remember somebody just kept offering us weed on the beach. I'd never been offered weed like a million times. I was like, no thanks.
Really? We didn't get offered.
Really?
She's like, what the heck?
That was my chance.
I got some videos.
My one
for
chance. Yeah. You have $1 a day.
This is
You
cheaper
didn't
than the
smoke
weed.
for one day. You could afford these videos.
That's why you were so good.
That's why you're so good.
Did we hit on all the
I think
the highlights, the lowlights?
I have one more that stands out to me. This is going back to Mesquite. Probably when one of the times Jesse's car was out of commission. I remember thinking to myself, what are we doing here? Okay. So
that's
it.
Story.
That's all. No,
Yeah.
no, we
Good
would
point.
oftentimes, even when his car was working, sometimes we would meet up at this park. There was like some shade and like a table. But I remember this
The one big
This
tree
one-
in Logandale.
yeah, the one tree. I remember this one day we went to eat lunch, and we sat down, we opened our coolers, we ate our whole lunch, and it didn't hit me until later that night that we didn't say a single word to each other. Not a word. The anxiety and stress was so thick.
Dang.
I'm so sorry.
A
you guys.
complete
This has
silence.
not been
But
like
it didn't even
life.
seem weird was the thing. And it was just like, oh, we're in hell. Like, that's fine. It's 120 outside. Jesse's car is broken for the 5th time. And we're spending money and not making any money. This is great.
Oh my god. That's amazing.
But I remember that lunch. I always remember just the complete silence.
I remember you trying to find love all of a sudden.
Oh my God.
Surprisingly, libraries aren't the place to find.
Yeah.
Or singles
Or
words.
Barnes and Noble.
Noble.
Yeah, struck out every time.
Oh,
Tell
but
us at
what-
least about the
what's
library
it,
one.
Elko, right?
Yeah, it was Elko. Of
Oh,
course.
yeah.
I mean,
Weren't
sex and
we all
drugs, right?
there? We were all there.
I was at the
there.
library that day.
I was
Yeah.
there.
Oh, good.
No wonder you guys weren't selling.
Yeah.
Did you guys see it happen too?
Yes.
Oh, geez.
Well, no, I saw you run after.
I ran?
You ran after.
Oh, I ran after. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was.
Jesse, you see that girl over there? She's pretty cute, right? Should I go talk to her?
Oh.
I guess. And then she starts leaving. Damn it. And he gets up and like jogs after her. I'm like, oh, all right, Jeremy.
Hey, if I wasn't selling, I was at least going to get someone's phone number.
That's awesome, dude. So you ran outside to
Sure did.
to grab her. What'd you
Yeah.
say to her?
I don't know, but well, here's,
No. I know what you said.
tell me what I said. I remember I asked her
Hey,
age
Yeah, how old are you?
That was the first thing.
because there was another incident where there's this girl I had gotten to know at Barnes and Noble in Reno.
Gotten to
And-
know.
Well, I would go there every morning and just kind of chill out for a bit. And she was there every morning.
stalk her.
No. She was just always there. It was like a morning routine. And we started chatting and eventually I asked her if she wanted to hang out. And then I found out she was like 16 or something. And I was 22
Oh my
maybe.
God.
And I was like, oh, so the first day I was like, this girl at the library, I'm like, how old are you? So let's just start there. I'm not taking this any further than it needs to go.
What'd she say?
You can finish this. You know how it went.
Oh,
right?
no, I don't. I don't remember. I
You
remember
said
asking.
15, and you said, "Damn it," and walked away. Turned around and walked away.
Sounds about right. Another defeat.
Man, there was no Tinder back then.
That's not.
That's my first cell phone was that summer, so I could
Me
get
too.
called if you guys had questions or problems. I never had a cell phone
too.
before then.
And did we have GPS or did we use maps?
Maps?
We used
Maps.
books, big old books.
Oh,
Didn't
yeah,
didn't we
dude.
use maps and like I feel like
Dude,
we would use the
like,
library
the
to print
book
out
maps.
MapQuest too.
I would have that. Like I bought one of those like bound maps that
Yeah.
you could flip through easy.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
we
totally
had that too.
And printing out the map.
I forgot
Yeah.
about that.
Library.
Oh,
That's
the
so
map
wild.
quest.
You guys, it's
Crazy.
funny. There have been a few times I've driven past Logandale and with my family and my kids, and I'm like, guys, this is where legends were made, Logandale, Nevada. And a few times when we've driven
No
past
cells
that
made,
that
but
Panaca
legends.
sign, yeah. Like you talk about baptism of fire, that was it that summer.
Oh, dude, there's a house in Moapa too. Did you guys ever go to Moapa? It was a Howard Hughes house that he gave to the church, and it was just a hot spring pool. It was cool, but they wouldn't let me get in.
That's weird.
Nobody was in it, and I was just there by myself. I was like, "Can I take a dip?" And they're like, "Nope, only for ward or stake activities." I was like, "What?"
It's seriously, I think about what you guys did that summer, and I'm like, man, most people aren't even willing to take that risk. So I think for me, my whole career after that has been like sales oriented. Like I liked it. I liked the adrenaline, and like they could say no, I could be poor any second. Like it might work out. For you guys, you didn't go down that route, but it was a learning experience for you to be like, dude, sales sucks. Like I'm never doing that again. And I seriously, I want to make that point because too many people are afraid to take risks. They're afraid to go do something. And worst case is you waste a summer, you waste a year, like whatever it is. Like, but you know now that like you're grateful for your life that you have now, the path that you chose, the fact that you didn't continue to be manager at Living Scriptures or whatever. Like, I don't know. I just think it's so cool. Like you guys, and you stuck with it. It wasn't like the next year I started a team and my whole team, including Lindsay, quit. There was one guy that stayed. And like I don't know, like Lindsay, you know, I mean, her circumstance was a little bit different, but like everyone else, I'm like, dude, the one guy quit the very first day. Like the morning we wake up, all of a sudden he's gone. Like he didn't even knock a door.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
He wrote a note.
Good luck, guys. Sorry, I decided to go home. I'm like,
San Diego wasn't what I expected.
yeah, I'm like, dude, we haven't even gone to the beach yet. Like I picked San Diego because I was like, the work's gonna suck,
Yeah.
but we're going to the beach on Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
So
It's crazy.
it's impressive to me. Like the more I went through it, like, man, these guys really stuck to it. They figured out what they don't want to do in life. Like, that was worth it, you know?
Yeah.
And like you said, that's where legends were born. You guys learned it. You got some thick skin through that thing. There's so much learning that came from it for sure.
Yeah, even though I didn't go into sales, I ended up in marketing a lot through design, and it's the same principles, right? And so like it's all valuable, and I think everybody should have some terrible jobs where they work really hard and don't get paid much early in life because it's a motivator to figure out something that does work for you and something that if you don't love, you at least like doing, right? Like getting the first few paychecks from like a real job was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. It wouldn't be that cool if you just kind of like lived off your parents' money all of your life and that was your first experience having a job outside of school. You probably wouldn't be very grateful for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a huge motivator for sure, right? Like you're saying, Ryan, like at least you know what you don't want to do. You know, I mean, you don't know the good unless you have the bad. And I wouldn't say it was all bad. It was challenging. I mean, but look at us. We're 22 years later. We're laughing hysterically. I mean, I wouldn't take any of it back for a second. It doesn't matter that when I did my taxes that year, my parents' accountant were like, "What did your son do?" for work over the summer. He was surprised at how little money I made.
How did everyone come out? Do you guys remember your numbers? Because we really just want to find out how much did James make all his overrides off of all of our cells.
It's crazy to think how much like all these other sales jobs really made, and we didn't make nearly as much. Well, you remember Mark? He just installed home security systems and got like 45 or 50,000 for the summer.
It was a big number.
Yeah,
and that's why I was pissed at you.
Yes,
because I'm like,
I know
what the hell.
Well, dude, I was like, how did I know? That was my senior year. I found out. I was like, why didn't I know about this job that you just lay by the pool and go install home security systems and have none of the stress?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did we, like, James, you lied to us about this Hawaii and everything else.
Yeah.
We could have sold pest control alarms.
It was fun.
Hawaii really was amazing. You guys missed out. I will say this. I mean, I don't want to bring up bad memories, but I won a trip both years. That was the first time we ever went on a cruise. Looking back, it was the cheapest cruise possible. It was Carnival. They put you in a closet. There's no windows. And I was like, dude, this place is dope. Look what I won. I mean, compared to a studio in Elko, this place is bomb, you know?
Did you get the trip? Oh, you got the trip. I didn't get the trip the next year.
You did.
No,
you did. I didn't.
We didn't know anyone.
That's
It would have
right.
been a
So I
lot
got the
of
trip
fun.
the first year, but not the second. Because I was like, wait, yeah.
Yeah, because they did really well.
Yeah.
The first year.
Yeah.
They're the only ones that got the trip.
Yeah. I can't remember what else I was going to say, but I think it was awesome. It's like, I think what you said, Jeremy, is like, I don't know that I would go do it again, but no regrets, you know, like it was awesome.
When I made enough that I didn't have to work the next year.
How much did you make, James?
I think it was 19.
Dang, son.
That wasn't
Not that much. I think I made
12 the first year and 19.
I remember how much you made, Jesse?
I think just under 8.
Ooh, nice.
Like
okay.
I think I made like 13 to 15 that first year.
That's good.
I mean, but I was planning on like
I think 12 was the
crappy
trip.
year 25.
Yeah. I know we just made the trip.
12 was the trip.
I think it was.
I-
Because that's what I barely got over 12 the first year, and I got to go to Hawaii again.
I'll bet you I was like 13 because I remember thinking like, dude, I gotta hustle these last like few weeks, threaten some old ladies and stuff, you know. You sure you don't want the big? What was the big one? It was like the family, and then there was some other one.
6 sets, right?
Six
That
setter.
was the big one.
Yeah, that was a motivator though. But honestly, like it was awesome. James, I still think you did great. I know you're feeling bad right now because you made Jeremy almost jump off a cliff.
If it wasn't with you guys, it would have sucked, right? Like
Oh,
it was fun because we were together. Like otherwise, I don't know why those locations were terrible. Like
Seriously.
who makes everyone drive? Like how far did we drive that summer? Like 3,000 miles probably
A lot.
on our cars.
Oh,
I
at
bet
least,
we did at least.
if
Like,
not more.
Yeah.
Well, I admire you as a manager because literally the next year, the first guy quits day one. Lindsay quit like a few weeks in or a month in or something like that. This other guy, Derek, won't say his last name because I don't want to. If he's still alive, he'll come find me and literally murder me. We go out. I'm going out and like he's struggling. So manager's gonna go help him. let me show you how this is done, Derek.
Yeah.
But first, let me see how you're doing it. So he goes and knocks on this door, and like we get in, and he does not close the thing, and you could just tell he was getting so pissed. And I was just like, to me, it's just a numbers game.
Yeah.
Like, let's go to the next one, you know. And he's just like, and he was driving. By the way, he was driving his car, driving me around, and we get in the car, and he's just like, I'm like, dude, are you okay? And he's like, doesn't say anything, and he gets in the car and just fly. We're in a neighborhood and just starts flooring it. And I'm like, Derek, slow down, calm down. It's like,
Young man.
top of his lungs. I'm like, no, stop the car. Oh my gosh, I thought I was gonna die. This kid was like we didn't know what mental health was back then. He invented mental health. It was crazy. I was just like, dude, stop the car. And then I finally literally got him to stop the car. I'm like, okay, dude, we're gonna just chill for like 20 minutes. And then he left the next day. So I'm like, how did James do this? He got everyone to stay. I couldn't even get my wife to stay. There was one guy that rode it out with me all summer, and I wouldn't have cared if he went home, to be honest.
He's the one to stay.
I know. I'm like, Lindsay, you should have stayed. We kicked this guy out. Well, through all of it, I've always appreciated your guys' friendship. It's been cool that we've been friends all these years. I mean, we lived in Texas for 12 years. We didn't get to see you guys that often or whatever, but it doesn't matter. We could go a decade and not see each other and pick up where we left off. So appreciate you guys coming on here, doing the show with us, and just for everyone's friendship. It's been awesome.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys. I don't know if that was helpful, but if you guys need help with sales, call one of my friends here. Go get after it. Stay positive. Don't quit.